You did the cardinal sin of nanny.
Yes.
You had an intimate relationship with a father of a family?
I would like to clear it up. I have not spoken to Cindy. She
admitted to sleeping with her boss. The internet immediately pointed the finger at one man, Travis Barker. Today, she's finally answering the question everyone's been asking. Was it him? If you've been anywhere near celebrity TikTok or Reddit this week, you already know the name Leah Barrs. She's the former nanny to Kourtney Kardashian's kids, and she's currently at the center of one of the most talked about rumors in the Kardashian universe. It all started with a bombshell confession on Hulu's $1 Million Nannies. Leah admitted she once slept with a client dad. No name, no details, just enough to send fans into a full-blown speculation spiral. And because Leah's most famous former employer happens to be married to Travis Barker, one of the most recognizable rock stars on the planet, the internet did what the internet does best. It connected dots that were never actually there. So today, we're breaking down exactly what Leah said, when she said it, what she's now clarifying, and everything we actually know, verified, on the record, about her time working for Kourtney Kardashian's family. No speculation, just the facts, the timeline, and the full story. Let's rewind to June of this year, when $1 Million Nannies premiered on Hulu. The show follows elite nannies working for ultra-wealthy families across the country, and Leah Barrs quickly became one of its most talked-about cast members, partly because of her glamorous resume, and partly because of one very candid confession. On the show, Leah revealed that earlier in her career, she'd crossed a line with an employer. She admitted to sleeping with a father she was working for, a client dad, in her words. She didn't name him. She didn't need to, because almost immediately, fans started asking the obvious question. Could this be connected to her time working for Kourtney Kardashian? Here's why that theory took off so fast. Leah wasn't just any nanny. For 3 years, starting in March 2019, she worked as a full-time family assistant for Kardashian-Jenner Communications. She posted content from private jets, family trips to Cabo, and a now widely shared TikTok from an Aspen vacation with the caption, "Love my job." She had a front-row seat to one of the most famous families in the world. So when she mentioned sleeping with a client dad, with no name attached, fans immediately started asking whether that person was Travis Barker, who married Kourtney Kardashian in 2022 and became stepfather to her 3 children with ex-Scott Disick, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. But here's where the story gets more complicated than a simple yes or no rumor. Her answer was immediate and unmistakably clear. "Oh my gosh, no," she said, visibly startled that the theory had even taken hold. She didn't stop there. Leah went on to explain the actual timeline, and it's a detail that fans seem to have overlooked in all the speculation. The incident, she said, happened when she first moved to Los Angeles, at 22 years old. She's now 31. That's nearly a decade removed from her time working for Kourtney's family, and years before she was ever connected to the Kardashian-Jenner orbit at all. She also clarified something important. The man in question wasn't a stranger-employer situation. He was a friend of hers first, who later hired her to work as his nanny. And crucially, she said he was single at the time. Her own words to People magazine were blunt. "I was young, I was 22 at the time, and I shouldn't have done that. I was working for him that night, so I shouldn't have crossed that line." She was also careful to note where that story stands today. The man, she said, is happily married now. Her closing line on the matter was almost a mic drop moment. "But I'm not that person today. Pack it up." If you enjoy celebrity stories like this, the kind with real timelines, real quotes, and none of the guesswork, make sure to subscribe for more updates. We're just getting started. To understand why this rumor spread so fast, it helps to understand who Leah actually is and what her real relationship with the Kardashian family looked like. According to her LinkedIn, reported by The Sun, Leah worked full-time as a family assistant for Kardashian-Jenner Communications for 3 years, beginning in March 2019. That's a significant chunk of time inside one of the most scrutinized households in the world. Here's an interesting wrinkle, though. Leah was never actually featured on The Kardashians, the family's Hulu docuseries. Why? Because she left her role in April 2022, the very same month the show premiered. Different timelines, missed connection. Fans who tried to place her in familiar Kardashians footage came up empty for a reason. During her time with the family, Leah documented an enviable lifestyle, private jets, designer fashion, luxury trips to Cabo and Aspen. It's easy to see why fans were fascinated by her, and why any hint of scandal involving her time with the family exploded into a full news cycle. In a November 2023 interview, Leah opened up about why she eventually left. She said she'd hoped to be promoted into the role of Kourtney's personal assistant, but that position was already filled. Rather than staying in her existing role, she moved on. Still, she was warm about her time there, calling those years the best years of my life, and saying she hopes to always have them in her life. And when it comes to Kourtney specifically, Leah has stayed notably tight-lipped. Asked recently on the podcast whether Kourtney was the best boss to work for, Leah started to answer, "Yeah, well," before catching herself. "Sorry, I can't really talk about them," she said. That kind of restraint is telling. Even now, years removed from the job, Leah is choosing her words carefully when it comes to her former employer, which, ironically, is part of why the Travis Barker rumor gained so much traction in the first place. Fans read her silence as suspicious, but as we now know, that silence was likely just discretion, not concealment of anything involving Travis. There's a bigger pattern here worth talking about. Leah never named anyone in her original $1 Million Nannies confession. She simply admitted to a personal mistake from her early 20s. But because she has a public connection to Kourtney Kardashian's family, the internet filled in the blank with the most famous name available, Travis Barker. It's a familiar cycle in celebrity news, an ambiguous statement, a famous adjacent name, and suddenly a rumor takes on a life of its own, regardless of the actual timeline or facts. In this case, the math never worked. Leah's confession was about an incident from when she was 22, nearly a decade before her Kardashian family employment even factors into the picture in the way rumors suggested. To her credit, Leah didn't let the theory linger. The moment she was asked directly, she corrected the record, clearly, immediately, and without dodging the question. It's also worth noting the broader context of Kourtney and Travis's relationship here. The two have been married since 2022, blending a large family that includes Kourtney's 3 children with Scott Disick, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Their son together, Rocky, and Travis's children with ex-wife Shauna Moakler, Landon, and Alabama, plus his stepfather role to Moakler's daughter Adiana. It's a high-profile, closely watched family, which is exactly why any rumor involving them, true or not, tends to spread fast. So, to recap, Leah Barrs never slept with Travis Barker. The client dad she referenced on $1 Million Nannies was someone from years before her time with Kourtney's family. A friend-turned-employer she worked for briefly at 22 years old, who is now, in her words, happily married. When directly confronted with the Travis Barker theory, she shut it down instantly and unambiguously. What this story really shows is how quickly speculation can spiral once a famous name enters the conversation, even when the actual facts point somewhere else entirely. Leah's own timeline, her own words, and her own clarification all tell the same story. This rumor never had a foundation to begin with. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think celebrity rumors like this spread too fast without any real evidence? Or is speculation just part of being in the public eye? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more celebrity news, breakdowns, and updates.